get sick because I'm like, he didn't tell me about this. Oh my God. And then he's like, don't worry, you're only teaching for an hour. Like, what? Only teaching for an hour? And I literally was feeling sick. And he's like, well, okay, do you want to do it? And I said, absolutely, I'm going to do it. But I was physically feeling sick. Why was I feeling sick? Terror barrier. We're going to get into that tomorrow. But it's where you've got emotionally involved in an idea. I really wanted to learn to teach this. I was emotionally involved in it. But I still had the paradigm that was not in harmony with that. And it was just really messing things up inside. But I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. And I go out on stage after lunch, and there were speakers lined up on this side and speakers lined up on this side. They were in chairs. And then you had the whole audience, and I go out there and I start teaching, and I remember I thought, wow, I'm really on a roll. I better look at the clock and see if my hour is up. And I look at the clock, 15 minutes. I had been teaching for 15 minutes, and just panic, sheer panic hit me. And you know, like a split second seems like an eternity. And I've seen all these eyes looking at me, and I'm like, blank, nothing. And I turn, and Bob was sitting there, and I'm like, you know, I'm like giving him the eyes like, give me something to do. And he turned away. He turned away. He wouldn't even look at me and give me moral support. And I'm like, oh my God. And so I walked out in the audience, and I just started talking to the audience. And of course, that went great. Relaxed, got back into the flow. But I could not believe that he actually just turned away. I mean, I was shocked. But of course, the shock moved me into action too. And you have to get to that point where you love what you put your mind to. You love your goal so much that when you get to that point where you freeze, you have to move through it. You have to move through it. Do you want it badly enough? Now, if you do this exercise and you really lock into it and you really get clear, super clear on what it is you want, and you're so emotionally involved with it, you will move through that fear. You will move through the obstacles, and you'll get to where you want to be. So that's why this exercise is so critical. So put your thinking caps on, and I want you to think about what Genevieve Buran said. She says, the exercise of the visualizing faculty keeps your mind in order. What's the visualizing faculty? Your imagination. So the exercise of your imagination keeps your mind in order. Why do we care about order? Heaven's first law. What about when you're not in an orderly state? Like if you're in your car and you didn't wash it, you have garbage in there. I mean, how clear is your mind? It feels cluttered. Or your desk, if you got all kinds of stuff all over your desk, it creates a chaotic vibration, a chaotic image in your mind. And if you've got chaos, you can't have order. And so what are you doing? You're putting out orders to the universe. You're saying, I want this, which is not what you want. And then you're saying, I want this, which is what I want. And you're going back and forth. That's why so often we make some progress and then we go backwards. And we kind of learn, well, that's the way it is. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. No way. The exercise of your visualizing faculty keeps your mind in order. And then what happens? It attracts to you what you need to make life more enjoyable and in an orderly way. So think about it. If you are working on your image and you're creating a really clear image in your mind of what you want, and it's crystal clear, and then you get emotionally involved in it. So you're seeing yourself as if that's already happened in your life. What's it saying to you here? It's going to attract to you what you need to make life more enjoyable and in an orderly way. What does that mean, orderly way? Not 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's you keep going forward 1 step after another. Do you believe that that can happen just from an image in your mind and then impressing it on your subconscious mind? Now, why does she say exercise of the visualizing faculty? Why do we have to exercise it? Why can't we just say, I'm going to get a picture on the screen in my mind? Why do we have to exercise it? I mean, like, Phil, you're Bob's best student, and you have to practice over and over seeing it in your mind and holding it on the screen of your mind. Why? Because we're not programmed to do that. We're programmed to let all kinds of pictures come in. So we have to exercise. Now, she goes on, she says, if you train yourself in the practice of deliberately picturing your desire and carefully examining the picture, you'll soon find that your thoughts and desires proceed in a more orderly fashion than ever before. So what does that say? First off, what's the most important word there? What? If. Because most people won't do this. Most people won't do this. It's too much work. It's frustrating. You try to hold the picture on the screen of your mind, but all the things that are contrary to it pop in and out. So most people don't do it. But there's such a big promise. If you train yourself in the practice of deliberately picturing your desire and carefully examine the picture. So you've created this image on the screen of your mind. Wow, that's annoying. You've created this picture on the screen of your mind. You've deliberately created it. And then, what does it say? You have to examine it. Why do you have to examine it? Why do you think you have to examine it? Because you got to see, is this really what I want? So when I first started doing this, I would come up with goals to sort of test it. And I had this picture. I wanted to live on the ocean in Malibu, California. And I did not examine this picture really carefully. And I ended up in a condo on the ocean. Like the ocean was washing up underneath me. And the condo had such low ceilings. I mean, I'm vertically challenged and I almost reached the ceiling. And the windows were just like, they'd get so dirty, I'd have to wash them like twice a day. I couldn't do calls because I thought, I'm going to go to Bali. And I recruited Corey Kelly Proctor, and we went to Bali, and I thought, this is going to be the most amazing trip. We're going to get all kinds of wonderful fresh food. It was going to be a kind of a, cleanse. Well, I didn't know we weren't going to eat for 10 days. So we show up at this place. We literally couldn't eat. The first day, I smelled something cooking, and it was so good, and there were these vegetables they were cooking. I thought, oh, we're going to have this great meal. And when it came to the dinner time, we sat down at the table, had nothing all day, and they put a bowl of broth on the table. And I'm like, where are the vegetables? We got the frickin' water that was left over from the vegetables. And I'm like, okay, I did not carefully examine the picture. It wasn't quite what I wanted. And so you got it. And it is a bit of trial and error. But you got to get the picture on the screen of your mind, move toward it, and then keep refining the picture. Is this really what you want? And the more you do this, and the more clear you get, what does it say? Your thoughts and desires will proceed in a more orderly procession before. So where are your thoughts? Your thoughts are in your conscious mind. What determines how you feel? What's in your subconscious mind? Where are desires? Desires are in your subconscious mind. Desire is the unexpressed possibility within, seeking expression without, through your action. Okay, so you've got the thought in your conscious mind. You're impressing it on your subconscious mind. You're getting clearer and clearer on what you want, like crystal clear, like you're really seeing what you want. And you impress it over and over on your subconscious mind. Then you start to get emotionally involved in that. It's already happened. You think of something that couldn't happen until it happened. And you live that experience in the future, but you live it now. And then your thoughts in your conscious mind are going to be in harmony with your desire in your subconscious mind. And what's going to happen with your results? It's going to be in harmony with your picture. And this is when you start to live life more joyfully, with more ease. You start to give up the idea that life has to be challenging or difficult or, hard, meaning you have to work harder. Like as a lawyer, billable hours, all I could see was working more and more and more until I'm out of time. But this doesn't say anything like that, does it? No, you get emotionally involved with the picture. And I don't care what the picture is. Nobody has to know what the picture is. It's what do you want? What do you want? And don't think about why you can't do it. Now what she says here is having reached a state of ordered mentality. You're no longer in a constant state of mental hurry. Hurry is fear and consequently destructive. So think about that. You get in this state and chaos. We talked about order and chaos. If you've got chaos in your mind, you can't think of anything going on around you. It's like you're sitting there in a conversation and you're in mental hurry and I'm saying something. You're not hearing a word I'm saying. You're just like, I want to get the hell out of this room, you know? Just, I gotta run. And that hurry and anxiety turns into fear, and it can kill you, literally. So the power of this exercise is you've got the beautiful picture you want, and it doesn't matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter who you're surrounded by, it doesn't matter what your current results are. You've got this beautiful picture, and you can live from that place. And then you're in the right harmony to attract what you want. Look at this slide up there. Bob went over that this morning. How quickly do we get on the left side? We start, all of a sudden, something comes in because we had our subconscious mind open. Something came in, we might not even know what it is, all of a sudden we're in doubt. It so quickly turns to fear. And then in our subconscious mind, we've got all this fear, and how is that expressed in the body? Anxiety, suppression, disease. We get sick. We see so many people this happens to, and ultimately disintegration. But we have the choice. We know we have the choice. We can kick those ideas out. We can gain understanding by studying over and over and over again. We keep studying. Bob and I studied entering into the spirit of it for over a year, every single day. I had the hardest time with this concept of repetitively reading the same thing. I mean, in school, you're taught, read one thing, move on to the next, move on to the next. But I really, really got it when we did that exercise. And it's like peeling an onion, and you just gradually, your awareness raises, and you start thinking from a different place. So you get the understanding, which develops faith and well-being and expression and acceleration and that ease. Like you see Bob, he's on stage. Have you ever seen anyone more comfortable on stage? I mean, I remember, isn't he amazing? Give him a hand. I think it was in 2008, he talked about the cruise that nearly sunk the company. Well, he was on stage, and he had his PowerPoints all queued up, and it was a packed crowd. And they were building him up. The introduction was building him up. And people were getting all excited, so excited, and they're clapping and standing ovation. And he comes out, and he's ready to go, and his PowerPoints crashed. Now, what do you think you would do if that happened? Holy what? And he just stood there, and he couldn't get him back up right away, so he started tap dancing. Like, what? I can't believe this. But he just knows everything's going to be fine. He just knows everything's happening the way it's supposed to. But it's because of the idea that he's working with.
Hello guys, hope you like this video. So please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to activate your notifications to get more wisdom to raise your vibration. Thank you.